Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your Wrexham Daily News and Update Show, The Breakfast Club. Yes, it is July 29th, Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to everybody. And I got a little bit, not breaking news, but a little bit of news that bouncing out today. We were so spoiled last week with all the news, just like fire hose last week. We get a little bit of news. We got to come out and take care of it. Yeah. And yesterday we were dark yesterday and didn't come on, but it is early morning and we got stuff to talk about. 6:25. It will be a quick show, but there is definitely things to talk about. And as you can see on the thumbnail, Jacob Mendy is on the docket to talk about. We have a little Kieffer Moore update as well. That one just won't go away, so we'll stay on that. But we're going to talk about Mendy real quick and what Parkinson said about him and the logic behind it. And it's not one we didn't see coming. It says, maybe a loan move. Well, I don't know why it wouldn't be a permanent move. Maybe it's a wage thing. We'll talk about that. But anyways, thanks for coming in. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the Local Pundit, on the way to 3,001 by the start of the season. And we hopefully will get there. If we keep going at this pace, we might do it in 2 weeks. But this fantastic community that we have built here. And we got everyone's popping in too. What's going on? Logan? Hey, Nikki D. Glenda's in here. Marie's in here. What's up? Sorry if I'm whispering a little bit. I am in a hotel room. Behind you that is the Hollywood Hills. I'm just on Sunset Boulevard. So it's awesome. Marcus, what's going on? Hope everyone's having a great day today. Hope you're too. Keep an eye on Cosm. No Wrexham games yet. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. And we definitely will. What's up, John Hills? And we're keeping an eye on the news. Again, so spoiled last week, but we're going to bring up today's article. Comes to you from the leader who does great work. And as you can see right there, Wrexham wingback Mendy is set to all go out on loan. Now goes down here. Jacob Mendy is heading out on loan. So that's not confirmed, but it said Jacob Mendy is heading out on loan. And I'm going to bring this down because that is ugly. And you can see that is heading out on loan. Obviously, we brought in Kakache. We have James McLean. And Matt. And, last year, Mendy did have an injury that he's he had to get surgery for his hamstring. So he didn't get much playing time last season. Rev is there too. Parkinson set on this. We got to be fair to these players who maybe aren't going to get as much playing time as they would like. Now, Parkinson is one that's always been honest about, giving his players the opportunity. Remember when Mullen, he sat down with Mullen. He's like, Mullen, do you want to play? Do you want to stay? What do you want to fight? Do you want to fight for your position? I think Parkinson is a very, very fair manager. I think that's why everyone really likes to play for him, because he's, he respects the other side of it too. It's not just a one-way street. It is a relationship between player, manager, and club. Well, it's a three-way street, I guess you could say. They're having a menage a trois there. Parkinson went on to say, Jacob's one of those, and we're in negotiations to sort out a move. And there's a few offers on the table. So there are offers on the table. There's a few. So they already had the conversation. It looks like it. And it looks like it settled that Mendy will go. They just need to find a spot for him. Parkinson said, we've done this before, and it's a bit like the Jordan Davies situation from last year. Remember, Jordan Davies went to League Two side, Grimsby Town, about 12 months ago. They released him. They came back in May. But Parkinson goes on to say, he said, Jacob's been a good signing for us. He's a good player and recovered from injury he had last year, but just missed quite a bit of football last season. One reason or another. Well, one reason or another is because we were headed for promotion. Parkinson had hit him in his sights, and he trusted James McLean. Now, Mendy is not a bad player. Is he a championship squad player? No. I don't believe he's a championship squad player. I think he's either going to be in a League One team or he definitely can do a League Two team. I don't think he'll drop down into the National League, but I think he is good enough. I think he has pace, power, and he has experience. He joined in 2022. He was key in the promotion side. Yeah, 77 appearances, 6 goals, and that was across League Two and League One. But he does have, like I said, pace, power, and strength. And my question is, why now? Well, why now alone? I would love for it to be a sale. Not that we need the money, but just to, get guys off the books, get them settled in. If it's going to be a loan, maybe it's a loan to buy. But whatever, it'll be off the books. We have to clear the deck out. We brought 6 guys in so far. I still think we have 3 to go, possibly 3 to go. But, Parkinson is building this squad now just for survival. He's building it I don't give a shit what anyone says. I was like, oh, you're delusional to think we're trying to go up. We are trying to go up. Every team that sets up for the championship, no matter what, even when they come back down, Ipswich, Southampton, all those teams that have come down, they want to go back up. Well, we're part of that group too. Parkinson is not building let's just hold on, white knuckling it until we hold on to the championship. So, and Mendy, unfortunately, yes, he's played for us 77 times. Is not one of the players that Parkinson believes will help us get promoted or give us the best opportunity to get promoted. So he is shaping his squad for success. I'm sure he's a great locker room guy, Mendy. There's no shade on that. I've met him. He's a nice guy. Actually, a really nice guy. I met him 2-3 times. I had a great exchange with him on camera. If you missed that, it was during last summer tour about Stacy, which was really funny, actually. But good dude. But he wants to play football. Awesome. I encourage that. Guys that want to sit on the bench and make money, for whatever reason that is, what's their ambition? Like, what is their real ambition here? And for Mendy to make the decision, I want to go play football, great. I think that's good. And so I'm happy for him. What say you? I know this is not a shock to anybody. I know it's not a shock to anybody because I said he was on the block. But what say you about this? Do you think it's a good move to get him out? Do you think he should stay to fight for his position? Am I wrong in saying that he's not championship quality? But I want to know. And what do you think of what a loan move does rather than a permanent move? Alan, evening, Josh. How are things? Things are crap, but that's okay. Duck on a pond. I'm like Taylor Swift. I could do it with a broken heart song. There you go. That's what we're doing these days, but we'll get her done. Frankie S. Mendy has been an interesting story with Wrexham. His long climb up the ladder seems like a bit like Jamie Vardy. Playing a lot of lower leagues. Yes, yeah, he has done. He definitely has done. John Hills, he's been a part of the squad that has been cheap backup option. Vardy was a first choice in time. Okay, we'll talk about Vardy. Let's stick with the topics here. Dewey Jones did good morning. And John, well, he recovers here. Loans are a nice option for January if we have injury problems. But honestly, he's sixth in line to start. Yeah, he's not. It's not like he had injuries last season. He just, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And was it last season? Or was that League 2? I can't even remember. When did his injury happen? His injury happened in League 2. And then over the summer, he tried to get fit. That's right. His injury happened in League 2. I remember that. So it wasn't last year. My bad. I misspoke on that too. Mendy is a League 2 backup. No choice but to leave or go out on loan. He is. I don't know if he's a backup. He could probably get a starting position. I think it depends on where he goes, but I think he'll go to League 2. I don't think it'll be a League 1. I think it's gonna be a League 2, in my opinion. By the way, it is early. I got to get used to getting back up early. We got a 4:30 game in 10 days or so, something like that. Got to get back into the groove of this stuff. Scott said, loan with an option to buy seems like the best thing to do. Coming off his recurring hamstring injury probably makes sense. Makes sense. A straight sale is too much of a risk for a player for the buyer. Maybe that's a good shout. That's actually a really good shout. Loan to buy, see how he is, see if he can stay fit, see if he can go out and play consistent games. That's a great shout, Scott. And that makes more sense than anything else. I guess selfishly for us and Wrexham, I would just like to get him completely off the books. But timing is everything for whatever we got to do to get players out. And maybe it's not just the right time. And to be fair, he hasn't played much football, says by Parkinson there. So that makes a lot of sense. Look at this. What a smart community. Glenda says, I agree with you, Josh. Every team should aim for promotion. There we go. Is Vardy an option or a pipe dream? I think it's a pipe dream, Alan, in my opinion. And Chicky Brewers in the house. How are you? Where are you? Good to see you. And yes, his injury is April of League 2. Wow, that seems like a long time ago. And Celia Clock it live stream for you. Yeah, it's 6:30 in the morning. I get up at 5. But we gotta do what we gotta do, right? Also one in the first part of League 2. That's true. Mendy only got about 90 minutes all season in League 1. Alone is best for everyone. Thank you, Kim. And Jesse ZJ. He was off the street and worked waste management. Definitely was very successful as us and could get a nice contract somewhere. Yes, I think that's the one thing, even like in Parkinson's conversation, or sorry, his interview there with every player that, sorry, there's bump here. With every player, he wants the best for the player too, and I respect that a lot. You don't really hear that. Not that other managers don't want their players to do well at other places, but Parkinson's in a privy position where we can go out and get better players, but he also cares about the human being, which is, again, just as important as what they're doing on the pitch. And I think that's what makes Wrexham so great as a part of the football community. So that's it. Sean, what's up? Unfortunately, Mendy will be a victim of our rapid rise, like many others. I mean, that's we haven't had a chance to catch up, and I don't want to catch up yet. I don't. I love the constant movement. It's a great shout, Sean. If we had consolidated last year in League One or whatever, maybe Mendy would have got an opportunity to say. Maybe other people would too. Maybe we wouldn't be as ambitious in who we're going to buy. Sean Harvey was saying on the Fozcast that we've always been a league up in buying players and getting players to come down. You talked about Tozer, talked about Mullen, and we've just been catching up and catching up and catching up. So, and we're almost at the top level, and it's not a fantasy anymore of what we can do, but really good. Hills was at the Crawley game where he initially did his hamstring trying to kick the ball at least 6 feet in the air. That looked painful. It did look painful. It did look painful. And Alan also said, are we expecting more signings? If so, how many more do you reckon we need? I'll give you my shout in that in a second because I want to talk about the Kieffer Moore stuff, and we'll go on from there. But that's what we need. Okay. Yeah. But Mendy, go on loans. We'll just expect this to happen. I would probably it might be this week. You never know coming up, but putting it out there. Parkinson saying he has options on the table. Just got to find the right one. That's good. It's not like we need to sell to buy again. Obviously we do have the money, and it's not like we need the cover. We do have cover back there. We have a game coming up again in, 11 days. We should be fine with that in regards to that position. We have Kakache, we have Maka, and we currently have Ravon. And if needed, Longman can play back there too. Longman can play back there too. Agreed, Josh. Hi all. Good to see you, Mel and Lionel. All right, moving on. The next order of business today is the Kieffer Moore situation. The Kieffer Moore situation just won't go away, and that's fine with me. This is divided opinion. This is definitely divided opinion. What's going on, Steve Barton? How are you? This is definitely divided opinion, and I don't quite know why. I think it's just because, for lack of better, what I take on this is that we think we can do better. He had a bad final. It's lump ball, all this crap. What about the money? And all it's a litany of bullshit of just like excuse. No. Well, what's the one? Yes, we need an upgrade in that position for the target man. I would say that this is the target man that would be, with championship experience. I'll say that with championship experience, and I don't know what his wages will be. It'll probably be high. We need this guy, I would say. Would you rather have him or be Palmer? You tell me. I don't know, but here it is. Wales target man Moore on Wrexham's wanted list. Doesn't mean we're going to get him. And there is, this has been going on for about, 2 weeks now. Wrexham boss Phil Parkinson has revealed Wales striker Kieffer Moore is one of the many targets he's looked at over the summer. He's 32 years old. Target man Moore, who has a year left on his contract to run at Sheffield United. So that's a good time to buy. Either it's a stick or twist time. Stick with the club, which I don't think that's going to do, meaning Sheffield United, or twist and go and get a better contract. He's at 32 years old. He's not an old guy, not a young guy, but he's not 27. Let's put it that way. But Parkinson says we're looking at lots of players, and he was one of the men. He said past tense for here. I find this very interesting. We're looking at lots of players, and he was one of many we are looking at. We also were looking at Christian Eriksen. There was something about that too. Talking about Eriksen, we were looking at Christian Eriksen as well. But Moore, he has, he's a big, solid, big unit guy. He can do a job for us. I don't know much about him. I did watch him play and didn't really pay attention to him in the playoffs this season, so I didn't check it out. But their boss, Ruben Sellers, Ruben Sellis. He talked about the speculation of Moore. He said to the Sheffield Star, Kieffer is our player. Classic line right there. I don't deal with those situations or proposals or gossips. We have a lot of good players, so the interest in them is always there, and I can understand that. So, I think that's a good answer for the manager. I'm going to bring this down too. I think it's a really good answer for the manager. He's not going to play into whatever game it is that's going on in the papers. And doesn't sound convincing either way. And to be honest, if we do get him, okay, obviously we'll back him. He'll be our player. If we don't get him, I'm not too fussed. I do think we need a striker though, and I'll go back to that shout up earlier. I do think we need a striker. I think that if we get Padilla down in Portola down from Argentina, I think that's a great buy too. And then I want one or two center halves. So a striker, the midfielder, and then we need a center half, like a big center half. Spend the money on a center half. That's what I want to do. So right up the spine still, I think, is where we still need to finish out what we're doing. If what's his name? Portola? Yeah. Juan Portola thing goes through, I would really enjoy seeing that player play for us. I think there's a grit there. But a striker, if this is the striker he wants to bring in, fine. I think we have good. We brought in good players already. Windass, Lewis O'Brien, Hardy, and Sam Smith from last year getting a full season under us. I think would be fine. If this guy wants to come in and be 6'5", we need to change it up a little bit. He could be that guy. So let's see where this goes. It's not over yet. Either way, the door has not. And listen, the season hasn't started, and we still have a month left of this transfer window. So even when we start playing games, we will still have probably have some movement. Although I'm sure Parkinson would have this all done and dusted by the start of the season. Moore would be a squad player. I don't know if he's a starter. I don't know if he's a starter, depending on what Parkinson wants to do. But I don't know if he's a starter. Could he start? Yes. He could start for sure. There he is. See Barton, the legend there in the chat, and a buddy. Kakache has the potential to be our best signing. His tackling technique is different to the normal. He doesn't back up, but steps into position's foot space. This is one time. I actually like that player too. What's going on, Aaron? How are you? And hey, everybody. Moore isn't the greatest, to be honest. Well, I don't know much about him. They said that about, Fletcher too. Fletcher isn't the greatest. He came in and did good work for us. So I think it's just about how we're going to use him. If Kieffer Moore does come in, how are we going to use him? Does he start the game against Hull? Does he? I hate to put it this way. Does he do a job for us? Can he score goals as a striker? I hope he does. At 6'5", he'll be towering over everybody. Does he have great experience in the league? Absolutely. So it's just one to watch. Do I have any? Let me see if I have any Kieffer Moore stats. 1 second. Yeah, sorry. Why can't I spell? It's Kieffer. There he is. No. Really, Josh? Yeah. Sorry, 1 second. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to take a peek at his stats with all of you right here. Sorry, only working without a net here and working on one screen today, as you can see. Can you see that? Yes, you can. All right, there he is right there. 6'5", 32 years old, right-footed, 1.1. Okay, 5 goals, no assists. Started 18 to 27 matches. I mean, he seems to be a guy that doesn't get injured. Aerial duels won 93%. No shit. At 6'5", you should win everything. 6.8. I mean, you'd be getting a very, very, very experienced guy at 32 years old. Do I see this as a Parky signing? 100%. This to me is an absolute Parkinson signing, and that's not I say that not in a way negatively, because you look at the profile of the players we're bringing in. Everyone has consistency to hardworking, bit of grit, experience. Even the younger guys at 24 years old, Thomason coming in from Bolton, experienced player, captaining Bolton. Lewis O'Brien coming in, experienced player who's traveled around a world, had a bit of a nomad experience the last year, he said. Now he's got a home. Definitely an experienced player, knows how to play football in different regions, which I think is kind of important too. So if Kieffer comes in, it's fine with me. Fine, we'll just see what happens. But that probably means more will go out. I think there's got to be more exits as well, not just a Mendy, but keep an eye on that. I don't know if Moore comes in. That is at the end of Palmer. Does Palmer want to go out and play football? That's one of the things that's the biggest. There are two big questions: is Palmer going to stay, and is Mullen going to stay? Well, we got the answer from Mullen, who was out on loan as well at Wigan, and I think they start this weekend, by the way. And two, will Palmer go? Those are the two storylines that we've been watching all summer. We have one that we figured out. Two is not left there. Kim says, depends on the money. 1 to 2 million sounds realistic. More than that, no. I agree with those numbers too. And John Hill says he's supposedly good in the air. So the high number of crosses we get in play to his favor, but his wages will be very high. I think we're accepting the fact that our wages are going to be high, John. Harvey said in the Foz interview, he's like, all our wages now, right now, weekly wage, the monthly wages right now are higher than the entirety of the championship. But it's the cost of doing business. We're in the championship. We are not in the pipe dream like where we're at. Now, that's no shot on you. So we're accepting it. We do have money coming in. It's a two-way street. We have money to spend and we have money to come in. And that's why we go on tour. That's why, there's great marketing. That's why Four Walls, all the stuff. That's why Amnesty on their shirt. Everything is on there. So are we the big boys of the championship? No. Can we attract players? Yes. Is there money to be spent? Yes. Should we feel bad about it? No. Did we do it smart? Yes. I think we've proven that for the last 4 years that we spend smart money on good players. I wouldn't really call anyone a flop yet. Guys might not have gotten their opportunity, like a Bolton. Not to call him out specifically, but that there were, I don't think he ever hit the races running for us, injuries and things like that. But let's see what happens. I think we need to kind of trust the process, and we're in the middle of the process. And last week was fire hose time. This week things are trickling out, but we'll see what's going on. So I'm going to go start my day, and I loved starting with all of you because I missed yesterday. I missed the community, which is fun. I was traveling. Do you think a new sponsor will be announced for the new season? I don't know anything about the sponsors. So if we do, that just means more money in. And Moore has 49 caps from Wales, from Torquay. Yes, Torquay. Fletcher has skill and a great touch. Moore has never really been nearly as good as Fletcher. I agree with that. I don't think Moore has played at the top, but he does have 49 caps. Don't get me wrong. Moore isn't garbage, as some of his Wales performances show. Yes. Let's see how this one plays out. For sure. I saw Sheffield United fans say that Moore would be a good move for Wrexham, but bad for Sheffield United. Well, then let's do it. Sold. on that bombshell. Bearing in mind Lewis O'Brien and Windass have supposedly lower wages, it's a value for money issue of poor. Probably, and we got those guys. We got one of those guys on a free. So there will be more ins and outs. Let's just keep an eye on it. I expect the Mendy thing probably to happen within the next week or so. If anybody else is probably going to move out or get sold, that'll probably happen in the next 2 weeks, maybe. I don't know. It's quick. It's easier to get somebody out on loan because it's not a permanent deal than actually, like I said, than getting somebody out on sale for sale to be sold. Sorry. But they said a few options. So Mendy will go. I think Kieffer Moore is going to come in. I'd like to see some more movement on Portilla. I actually messaged, who is his name? I'm going to give him credit because he gave me like this, Alan Nixon. I messaged Alan Nixon. I said to him, hey, guys, right here. Alan, just checking to see if the link to Padilla and Wrexham had some legs for it to happen. He said, I wouldn't have written it otherwise. What a great response. Basically like, hey, asshole. Yeah. And I said, copy that. I said, we'll keep an eye on it from you. And I'm just giving him credit on the show. He said, cheers. So if any movement on that, I'll try to hit him up and see if I can get any information on the Portilla. And if anything else comes in and breaks, we'll be live on the Local Pundit. Please smash the like out, share out, by the way. We're getting good numbers, but the likes, starting to get up too, but the shares, let's get it out. Let's get everybody, let's get this community by the start of the season, and new things coming up with the Ring and Rant show, Appetite for Discussion. That's the call-in show for the championship chat, and watch-alongs are going to be coming in too. So that's That's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm excited about the season. I'm definitely excited about the season. Thanks for coming in. Last one here. I'm going to go out. Portilla has been kept out of the lineup by Tevez, his manager. So there is smoke there. Well, good. Light it up. Let's go. And I want it to happen. Glenda says, Mike, hit like, share, subscribe. But yes, big target man are never going to be amazing goal scorers, but they play a role. Says Kim. All right. Awesome. Keep an eye on things. If we break, we'll be here on the Local Pundit. Smash that like button. And on that bombshell, we'll see you all soon.